Pacers 118, Sonics 107. From Matt Kukas and Jim Gray, this is Mike Breen saying so long from the Garden. Let's send you to the Forum in L.A. and Tom Hammond.
All right, Mike Breen, thank you very much. Tom Hammond with Steve Jones, Bill Walton, and Paul Sunderland. Minute and a half left in the opening quarter of a close game. The Sonics and the Lakers. Game 4. Sonics leading 2-1 coming into this afternoon's action.
Two Lakers have been virtually unstoppable. Eddie Jones here with the ball. Continues his hot hand. And then Shaquille O'Neal, who was just magnificent. Shaq dunking, blocking, going coast to coast. Shaq 5 for 5 and 11 points early on.
What the Sonics have to do is match the Lakers' intensity, which has been extremely high and quick. Sam Perkins draws a foul against Corey Blunt, but O'Neal and Eddie Jones have been spectacular here in the first quarter of play.
2-point game, points in the paint heavily in favor of Shaquille, who's hit all 5 of his shots, as Bill mentioned, and 12 of 18 shooting for the Lakers, 11 of 21 for the Sonics, so good shooting on both ends of the court to open this game.
Sam Perkins, who will have a much bigger role today. Talking to George Karl before the game, he wanted to start Sam because Jim McIlvaine has not been having a successful series. McIlvaine's back very sore. George figured he better get McIlvaine in some action early before that back tightens up.
Now let me ask you a question. When has McIlvaine had a spectacular series in the playoffs? You're asking too much of this man.
He picked up 2 quick fouls on Shaquille.
I asked him how he was feeling, McIlvaine. He said, look, Bill, my back is killing me, but just blame all my poor play on my lack of ability.
Oh, Eddie
Jones. Jones for 3. He has 13 points.
Eddie Jones, the role players like Robert Horry and Nick Van Exel have just been huge as the Lakers have been on a real offensive tear.
Again, it takes patience by the Sonics to know that they can withstand this assault that those 2 players are throwing down, and at the same time make some hustle plays, make it happen. Vin Baker, he's got 10 and a quarter.
After Jerome Kersey had scrambled to keep the ball alive. Van Exel for 3. Rebounded by Kersey, or Baker it is.
Tom, the Lakers just look so confident. That was an ill-advised shot clockwise by Van Exel, but they just think they can do whatever they want to against this Sonic team. There's been no defense.
Well, it's a 2-point ball game. So, I mean, the Sonics aren't doing that badly.
And Payton missing a shot at the buzzer to end the first quarter. Sonics desperately in need of a victory, ending the first quarter down by 2. Shaquille O'Neal and Eddie Jones combining for 26 points. It's a 2-point Laker lead at the end of 1. The NBA on NBC.
The Nissan Pre-Memorial Day event is going on, but only until May 18th. So now's the perfect time to get a great deal on any new Nissan. Like you can get all the quality and craftsmanship of the new Nissan Altima with incredible 1.9% APR financing. 1.9. Get down to your local Nissan retailer now and spend Memorial Day somewhere really fun. In the new Altima you got with 1.9% APR. The Nissan Pre-Memorial Day event at your Nissan retailer only through May 18th.
This is for Mr. Blanchard, who told me to make something of myself. For Miss Miller, who never let me settle for a seat. For my parents, who believe in my dreams. For myself, for my future.
Be all that you can be.
Daddy, do a lion. Do a giraffe. That's not a giraffe.
No, but it's a really good sandwich.
McDonald's is going wild over Disney's most adventurous theme park ever, Disney's Animal Kingdom, with the wild barbecue taste of McRib. Supersize any extra value meal and you can instantly win a vacation to Disney's Animal Kingdom Park from McDonald's. So tame your hunger with McRib.
What animal are you doing now?
A hungry one.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Getting ready to start the second quarter with the Lakers up 2 on the Seattle Sonics. And welcome to Inglewood, California, the Great Western Forum, and happy Mother's Day Steve, the Lakers getting too many easy baskets here early.
Really, in their 30 points, they've been in the paint way too much. About 24 points have come from there. They've got to be able to make the Lakers more of a perimeter team in order to win this afternoon.
But Bill, will Seattle have an answer for Shaq?
George Karl has done all the right things strategically, but unless somebody is willing to get in there and mix it up with Shaq, it just won't happen. As Eddie Jones throws it over, Shaq with the easy stick back. And then the lob pass from Rick Fox, which was just beautiful. The turnaround jumper in the paint, everything working. And then the great defense, and Shaq takes it coast to coast on the break. Every big man's dream, the up and under, in your face Sam Perkins. Shaq celebrating, saying, point guard Gary Payton, hey, I'm the point guard right here.
When Shaq takes it coast to coast, we were just waving the white flag. Well, that's enough. We give. Shaq has hit all 5 of his shots. Eddie Jones is 6 for 8, 13 points apiece. The other Lakers are 2 of 7 combined, only 4 points. And Derek Fisher has those 4 points.
Well, if you call it balance, the Lakers have great balance with 2 guys, and the Sonics have balance with 3. Vin Baker is their player with 10 points, and Baker's gotten off to a very aggressive start. So let's see if the Sonic defense can begin to have an effect and make the Lakers more perimeter-oriented.
As you see, O'Neal has been big in this series, and so has the Lakers supporting cast. Kobe Bryant, suffering from the flu, has missed the last 2 games and is questionable today. As the shot clock buzzer goes off, Van Exel misses. Shot clock violation.
Eldon Campbell has a legitimate complaint. They did pull his arm off the ball, so that one died on him, and no one knew what the shot clock situation was. So the Sonics come out with a good break.
But 2 straight times now, Nick Van Exel with the ball. He's got to be aware every single second, Steve, what's up with that clock.
So Kobe Bryant watching from the Laker bench.
Terrible
jeopardy of missing his 3rd straight game. The Sonics with a careless turnover as Kobe came out and warmed up, but did not feel well.
I was talking with Kobe in the locker room. He feels a lot better. He's been drinking tons of water in a dark room the last couple of days. He just wants playing time.
Wait. What does the dark room have to do with water?
He's resting that brain there, Steve, which has been burning.
You think we could get Bill a dark room?
Oh, Eddie Jones!
Jones continues to scorch the nets early. 16 points in the early going on 7 of 9 shooting.
Well, the last... Oh, this is a tough call against Robert Horry here. Eddie Jones last game, 29 points, career playoff high. Here, he's just stepping back to the deep corner. That's Larry Bird basketball right now. That's a heat check. He's got it going. Robert Horry in perfect defensive position. Referee Joe Crawford.
Still sliding. He's still sliding. You can't be in perfect position and be sliding.
Kersey ran him over.
Anthony in the ball game.
There's Anthony, who's replaced Gary Payton. Perkins for 3. Air ball. Knocked in the hand of Corey Blunt, and last touch by Jerome Kersey. It'll be Lakers ball.
Now, with Payton out of the ball game, Detlef Schrempf at the offensive end has to become a bigger player along with Sam Perkins. Vin Baker and Payton are both down, and they've really got to be aggressive and looking for their shots.
Van Exel shoots over the double team, including the 6'10 Schrempf, and is rebounded by Kersey.
The hope for Seattle is that those shots don't go in.
Dale Ellis.
And that those do. And the Seattle Sonics in the 2 losses, the last 2 blowouts against the Lakers, the Sonics perimeter game has been non-existent.
You know, the Sonics are a lot like the Rockets were when the Rockets won their championship. When they're making their threes, you're not going to beat them. Well, they haven't been making their threes in the last couple of ball games. But they can't rely solely on the 3-point field goal.
Campbell slapped out by Blunt, and the Lakers retain possession.
Lakers need to come back with Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, he's been sitting out, and the Lakers have lost their momentum completely.
Shaq is at the scorer's table, ready to come in. Horry against Kersey. Anthony made a swipe at it, couldn't get the ball. The shot no good. Saved by Blunt, and Horry is fouled by Perkins. Corey Blunt tipping the ball to Horry to keep it alive. Lakers by 3.
The world is full of light, with suns and moons all over the place. Tonight, tonight.
Let's just be friends.
Tonight, there's only you tonight.
The 300 idea is the idea of a powerful, responsive, nimble automotive machine.
That first 300 series took the Grand National Stock Car Championship.
We are a company built on engineering mastery. 300 gives us an all-out engineering car. It has put real fire and spirit into the whole job we do.
44 years later, the soul lives on. The 99 Chrysler 300M, coming late May.
Introducing the Sicilian pizza from Pizza Hut. This ain't no ordinary pizza. It's the most intense-tasting pizza we've ever made. This ain't pin the tail on the donkey. This is hammer the tail on the donkey with a baseball bat. This is opening a gift from the Pyrotechnic Society. This is oregano, basil, and garlic rolled into a perfectly innocent-looking crust and exploding in your face. This is the energized, kick-in-the-teeth mother of all pizzas. The new Sicilian pizza from Pizza Hut for only $8.99. Can you handle it?
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Mountain Dew, who reminds you to do the do. By Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. And by Pizza Hut, home of the new Sicilian pizza. Can you handle it?
Back at the Great Western Forum, the Lakers and the Seattle SuperSonics. Paul Sunderland with you courtside, and Shaquille O'Neal, who's back in the lineup right now, off to a fabulous start. But I'll tell you, the pulse rate was going hot and heavy here Friday night. He landed awkwardly, hyperextended his right knee. There was some real concern, but all of those are forgotten given the way that he has gotten off so far in this Game 5 against the Seattle SuperSonics, or Game 4, that is. And also, stomach that bothered him for 6 months. You saw the move that he made earlier in the year. He's working with a physical therapist named Alex McKechnie, who is down here from Vancouver. And Alex told me before the game, it's just maintenance now. Absolutely 100%. So good news across the board in terms of the physical condition of Shaquille O'Neal. Back to you guys.
All right, Paul. Sam Perkins called for a flagrant foul on Robert Horry. Horry hits 1 of 2, and the Lakers on the flagrant call get the basketball as well.
Well, O'Neal comes back in. Eldon Campbell goes down. Let's see if they come back inside and make the Sonic defense collapse on him and maybe give Derek Fisher, Van Exel some easier looks from outside.
Good defense by Jerome Kersey on the ball. Derek Fisher keeping him from dumping the ball into Shaq.
Payton averaging 19. Baker a little disappointing, averaging 14-7 for the series as Dale Ellis misses the outside shot.
And Corey Blunt has been really a factor on the board, Tom. With Kobe Bryant unavailable for action, Corey's got some playing time, and he's made the most of it with great board work.
Derek Fisher. Horry gets the offensive rebound.
Second opportunities are killing the Sonics right now. They've got to be hungrier than the Lakers, and they're letting the Lakers push them around, get second chances.
O'Neal rolls it in, and he's 6 for 6. 15 points.
Sam Perkins is terrific against guarding big guys, but
Greg Anthony and 1. Anthony taking it to the baseline, up and in, and a chance for a three-point play.
When I asked Greg, you see me when I asked Sam Perkins about guarding Shaq, he said, well, Bill, I'm good at guarding big guys, but Shaq is a big guy. And those guys are a lot different.
Those guys, there's only one of those guys. Greg Anthony with a little hesitation. That surprised the defense of Corey Blunt. Gives Anthony a chance for a three-point play, cuts the lead to 3. So the Sonics, they have stayed close, and that's what they're going to need to do through this first 24 minutes of play.
Greg Anthony has played very, very well. Even though he doesn't have big numbers, he's earned playing time, and now he got Payton and Anthony at the same time.
They're looking to put some defensive clamps on, but that has been killing them. The middle has been open. They've been driving the ball. Corey Blunt gets his first 2.
Again, they're paying so much attention to Shaq that the other guys have left all kinds of opportunities. Schrempf. Pretty shot, Detlef Schrempf.
You've got to deny penetration to Payton and to Greg Anthony. If you let those guys come down the lane, Shaq is going to rotate every time to cover the basket. Schrempf, everybody else will be wide open.
First miss of the game by big and bigger Shaquille O'Neal.
Now that was your famous heat check, because he just slapped that one up there and hoping I'm hot, everything is going in. Payton
on the post. Against Fisher. Missed it right underneath. Rebounded by Ori.
The Lakers' game plan is to stay at home when Payton goes into the post. Don't come down and double team. Let Derek Fisher handle him.
Fisher being checked by Anthony. Payton is on Van Exel.
A shot clock under 10. They're going to gamble on Fisher.
He lost it. Schrempf for the Sonics. They're down by 3. Payton wide open. Couldn't get it down. Ori with a reach-in foul as Payton went streaking by.
One thing that they've been able to do is run on the Los Angeles Lakers, and they've got to look for opportunities to push down by 3.
It is grounded in the belief that for ideas to take flight, they must have wings. The all-new Chrysler Concorde LXI, with a 225 horsepower engine so advanced, it provides more power yet uses less fuel. Chrysler Concorde, built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. Lease an all-new Chrysler Concorde LX for just $309 a month.
How do you get this equipment to these troops when there's a river between them? Build a bridge. Problem solving. You need it now in college. Learn it now in the Army Reserve.
All that you can be.
How to speak Australian. Ouch. Cry, baby. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
So it's called the AT&T $2 million shootout, huh?
5 shots, $2 million.
$2 million.
It's the NBA Finals.
$2 million.
Could be me.
Just call 1-888-6-FINALS and you can win a trip to the NBA Finals and a shot at $2 million or thousands of other prizes. So call now.
Hey, Lenny, know what you could do with $2 million? You can move that basket higher and to the right.
Just call 1-888-6-FINALS now.
Wednesday, it's comedian Chris Farley's greatest moments. Saturday Night Live remembers Chris Farley, 8/7 Central NBC, Wednesday.
I would like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day, and especially the beautiful black one in Indianapolis, Indiana. My mom, Joyce Van Exel, happy Mother's Day. I love you and all the mothers in the world.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everyone. Nick Van Exel with some greetings for his mom.
Nick Van Exel was an only child, raised by his mom in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
And George Karl, happy Mother's Day, George Karl. I think Shaq had that made up, especially in George's honor. Shaq and George had a little war of words earlier in the series, and Shaq ended up saying, well, he's just like a woman. So make of that what you got. I thought it was a compliment.
The Sonics have gone very small, and that's going to create some problems for them. Corey Blunt over the top.
Corey Blunt is playing so well. It's just going to push Kobe Bryant a step further down that bench.
4 points and 4 rebounds in 8 minutes for Corey.
This guy's got to get into the game. Percy Hawkins, he has really got to be aggressive when he's out there on the floor in attacking Rick Fox, Robert Horry, who's ever guarding him, because they're giving up a ton when they go with that small team against Fox, O'Neal, and Corey Blunt.
What a great passer Shaquille has become from the low post. Percy Hawkins, Steve, you said he needed to get it done. 0 for 1 going to the line here for the first time. 8 minutes of action, has yet to score.
Go online to MSNBCSports.com for the inside story on the NBA playoffs. Check out John Sally's Spotlight and email Bill Walton for your playoff questions. Plus, click on NBA Showtime video features, analysis, and commentary, MSNBCSports.com. And
Tom, Kobe Bryant got out of the dark room, and we're going to find out whether he can stand the light here on Sunday afternoon. As Hawkins, a great free thrower, gets 1 of 2.
George Karl told us before the game, he said that the key guys he thought were Percy Hawkins and Sam Perkins. He needed huge games from both of those guys to get a victory here today.
Eddie Jones was torturing the Sonics early. Let's see if he can rekindle his offensive energy. Turnover.
On the floor, picked up by Anthony. He's got Payton on the wing, and Hawkins tried to throw it inside. Knocked out of bounds by Corey Blunt. And let's go to Paul Sunderland.
Well, Kobe Bryant, who missed games 2 and 3 because of a severe case of the flu, and as you know, we talked to Del Harris yesterday, and he told us that Kobe would only play in case of a blowout. But Kobe was here at 9:30 this morning, shooting, trying to work up a sweat, get some legs back underneath him. And he said, hey, I know what Del said, but I'm going to play. And here he is, and it's not a blowout. He's out on the court. So Kobe had his way.
In fact, Paul, it's a 1-point game after that Payton 3, and it's the Sonics that have the lead.
Payton this year became the best three-point shooter of his career. What a pass, Shaquille.
And there's Blunt with the emphatic finish as the distributor, Shaquille O'Neal, continues to pile up assists.
Tom, when you have a great big man like Shaq, you want to surround him with mobile guys who move, who can catch, who can finish. You don't want big stand-around power guys. That's what really hurts Eldon Campbell. He doesn't move enough. Corey Blunt, one of those guys, when he gets minutes, he always produces.
Well, he's gotten 10 minutes today, and he's produced 6 points and 5 rebounds.
Jack in early. They should be taking that one away. They don't. That one should have gone the other way. And Detlef Schrempf is right.
Nice box out by Vin Baker.
He never had a chance. The guy jumped the gun. The ball never left his hand.
Sonics wanting the offensive interference. Nothing doing. 9th offensive rebound for the Lakers with a jam home by Shaq.
Shaq in transition here.
Eddie Jones gave it to him, put it in. Too easy. Timeout, Seattle. Shaq off to the blistering start. 8 of 9 shooting on 19 points, including this. Put back. They are up by 5.
Play ball!
This century has seen only 7 Wheaties champions. Athletes who defined an era. Athletes who changed the game. Say hello to number 8. Introducing Tiger Woods, a new generation of Wheaties champion.
It is 180 degrees from expected. It is a leather-trimmed interior. And now, it ties as J.D. Power and Associates' most appealing minivan. The new Chrysler Town & Country LXI. Winner of the Automobile Magazine All-Star Award. Now available with $1,000 cash back or a very special low lease rate. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug. How's it going, eh? And we're having a Molson with Hall of Famer Guy Lafleur, eh? Yeah, Lafleur. That's like a real hockey name. What's that mean, eh? Like the wolf or the lion, eh?
No, Lafleur means the flower.
Well, like a tough flower, eh? Like a dogwood or a snapdragon, eh? Roses have thorns, eh? They're tough. You're tough.
Hi, Hannah Storm in New York. Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll talk about the wild game at Madison Square Garden between the Pacers and Knicks, which went to overtime. And we'll hear from Charlotte Hornets center Vlade Divac. He talks about the impact of the conflict in his native land of Yugoslavia.
You see people, struggling, hate each other, killing each other. It hurts, it really hurts.
Divac and his teammates go up against the Chicago Bulls in the final game of our triple header. Right now, let's go back to the Forum and rejoin Tom Hammond.
Thank you, Hannah. 46-41. The Lakers on a 6-0 run since Payton hit that three to give the Sonics a 1-point lead.
George Karl with a real small lineup, 2-point guards. Percy Hawkins a spot up, and then just Baker and Schrempf.
Trying to get Payton down on the post. He finally squeezes it off. A wild effort by him, but he's got 7 points in the quarter, 15 in the game.
4 Lakers around him, and he got it in for his 15th point. Kobe Bryant against Gary Payton. Stripped by Payton. Kobe, though, saved it inbounds to Shaq. Shot clock under 10. Shaquille missed it.
Corey Blunt again on the offensive glass.
Kept it alive, even though he didn't have position. But they say last touch for the Lakers.
Kobe Bryant forcing a little bit of action here, trying to get his own offensive game going, keeps it alive. Shaq unable to finish. I think Kobe needs to work on the defense and the passing and the rebounding a little bit. The offense will come later.
L.A. out-rebounding Seattle 10-4 in this second period. Detlef Schrempf, he has 13.
And Schrempf and Payton carrying them back into the fray now. If they can get Vin Baker or Hawkins in it, they have a chance to go on top and maybe get control of the scoreboard before the break.
Lakers by 1.
Going deep to Shaq. Turnover.
Payton leads the break. Here's Hawkins. Laid it in. And the Sonics seesaw back up by 1. Here's Kobe Bryant right back to Shaq. Missed the jam, got his own, and made sure. Don't look at me.
Steve, you better go guard that guy, I think.
Yeah, they're having a tough time dealing with Shaquille O'Neal.
Fans desperately wanted traveling on Kersey.
Here's Van Exel with a steal, racing up court. And he's fouled. I believe Van Exel is the quickest he's been all season. He had that knee problem earlier, but he really seems to have fresh legs.
Shaquille O'Neal able to finish off the play after he missed the first dunk. Now, I had lunch. I had lunch with Coach Wooden earlier this week, and he said about Shaquille, he said that if Shaquille had played in an era of college basketball like Lou Alcindor did, where they did not allow the dunk, that Shaquille, as good as he is right now, would be infinitely better on the offensive end in terms of moves and shooting touch.
He would learn the other moves rather than always relying on the jam. I think he's done that, though. He's expanded his moves.
I mean, the guy has expanded on all of those things now. I mean, he's getting, what, 28, 29 points a game? You don't like him?
I think Shaq is, with Michael Jordan, is the most devastating opponent for any team in the NBA. I just would like to see him get a little bit better.
Well, we're going to call a halt to this love fest for a moment with a 20-second timeout. And we talked to Shaq and asked about his assessment of the first games in this series.
Game 2 was, on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 6.228.
And Game 3?
About a 7.11995-228B722.
And Sunday's game?
We have to come out and play smart. So I think if we play smart and play with a lot of enthusiasm, we should be fine.
Be a 10.
No, it won't be a 10.
Well, it's been almost a 10 for Shaq. He's hit 9 of his 12 shots, 21 first-half points to lead all scorers, as you see.
And Shaq, being the great son that he is, got his mother today in Orlando, Mrs. Harrison, got her 200 dozen roses.
How many is that?
That's a lot. I said that would fill up the house, and Shaq said, they've got a big house.
Horry takes it into Shaq.
They got Shaq out on the wing, and he's going to power his way in. Now, what was wrong with that move?
That was no dunk. That was a pretty slick move there.
Shaq has got those kind of moves. At some point, he needs to use them. When he plays against centers like Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, when he plays against the Utah Jazz that keep him away from the hoop.
It's been a couple of mistakes that hurt the Sonics, and both of them in the direction of Vin Baker. Vin Baker was wide open in an errant pass from Jerome Kersey. Again, Baker wide open. Miscommunication between Payton and Baker, and they find themselves down by 5.
And the Lakers with the ball.
What you can't give the Lakers is free chances, particularly when they're dominating inside the paint as much as they have with O'Neal, Eddie Jones, Corey Blunt.
Double team of Shaq. Shot no good by Blunt. Payton has it for the Sonics. Numbers for Seattle. Lakers quickly back on defense, but Payton has an open three and connects. Gary Payton now with 18 points.
10 in a quarter and three-point field goals. He has not missed a field goal from deep.
I coached Gary Payton this summer, Tom, in the MTV Rock and Jock game.
Are you taking credit?
No. He had 197 points in the game, the MTV Rock and Jock game.
He should have 197 against those midgets.
Lee and Flea.
He may need to get 197 again today.
Schrempf finds Kersey open. Can't hit it. Tapped out of bounds by Blunt. It'll be Seattle ball. A minute left till halftime.
Everybody looking up at the clock, but they realize that this is a two-point ball game and one that's had a lot of streaks in it. And the Sonics trying to get a quick streak here. Kersey.
He's fouled. Horry and O'Neal both made a stab at him. Let's see who gets the personal.
That has to be Shaq. Shaq hit him so hard. I'm surprised Kersey's even still walking.
Shaq's first foul.
Shaq has a tendency to stand flat-footed underneath the basket on the defensive end, just encouraging guys to drive in his face.
Kersey misses the free throw, and don't forget, coming up next, game 3 of our playoff triple header, Michael Jordan and the Bulls taking on Glenn Rice and the Hornets. That's the Bulls and the Hornets in the nightcap coming up after the Lakers and Sonics.
Kersey gets his first score, 1 of 2 from the line, 1-point ball game, Tom.
2 for 1 time for the Lakers if they shoot at 40.
Now, Van Exel has not been as good so far in this ball game as he was in games 2 and 3. A miss there.
Got right to the rim, couldn't finish it. Here's Payton. Gary Payton with a tough layup. And the Sonics are back up by 1. Payton with 20 points in the first half.
12 without 20 in the second quarter, so he has really changed his attitude and trying to keep his team on top.
The Lakers had a chance to go 2 for 1, and now it's going to be the Sonics who get the final shot.
They've got a 3-on-1.
They got to go for it.
Schrempf lays it in.
They got to take the break. They couldn't hold for that. That was too delicious to take. Jerome Kersey, nice effort.
A 3-on-1 break.
George Karl's calling for the foul to give. He said, give it at 5.
They have a foul to give, and it will be Shaquille O'Neal. No shot.
Yeah, the Sonics really feeding off George Karl's brilliance today. George gets a lot of criticism. He's under incredible pressure up there in Seattle.
McIlvain returns to the game for the final 7 seconds of the half.
Protect Vin Baker. Baker got off to a terrific start. 10 in the first quarter. Didn't score, but they want to make sure they don't get a foul. 20-second timeout, Lakers.
Sonics playing their fast break game, Steve. The great tip out here by Vin Baker, and then just numbers. Gary Payton has been finishing beautifully at the hoop.
Well, you got to challenge the Lakers, and they don't stop the basketball, which is the first rule of defense. Get the guy with the ball, and Payton drives it home, and then in transition, you talk about holding for 1. Kersey leaves it for Detlef Schrempf, and bang, bang, they got 2 quick hoops, and they look up and say, you know, we've been fighting uphill, and we're on top right now. And Del Harris not happy.
But they're playing the running game, and Shaquille is not having an impact defensively like he had. The fast break points. Lakers out early with Eddie Jones and Shaquille leading the way, but the end of the first half here, it's been all Seattle in the up-and-down game.
Well, the Lakers got 30 points in that first quarter, and then they've been able to get them more Shaq-itis. Shaq has been dominating. He got 10. Foul. Kersey didn't move his feet.
Foul number 7, Jerome Kersey. Jerome Kersey committing his first foul.
Well, the dream for all these opponents against the Lakers is to get them to play that stand-around game where they just dump it into Shaq every time and play 1 Shaquille against the 5 defenders. And that has been working here at the latter moments of the first half. Utah is probably the best team at doing that against the Lakers.
1 in the penalty for Eddie Jones, who hits the first. He has 17 points.
They're going to get McIlvain out there thinking about a quick score now. Perkins comes in, Anthony comes in, so they think if they can get it down quickly, they'll at least get a shot at it and maybe a 3 in the process.
Jones with that free throw, ending an 8-0 Seattle run.
What is the limit on the number of substitutions that you can have on a single dead ball? The rest of the Lakers have really come on strong in support of Shaquille O'Neal. Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, Robert Horry in the second round have just been magnificent.
Jones hits 2. And then intercepts the Seattle pass. Van Exel got it away for 3 and hit it as the half ends.
Tom, Nick Van Exel hit that same type of shot at the end of Game 3 on Friday night. Gave the Lakers great momentum as they headed into the locker room.
Well, this is the kind of play that Van Exel has specialized in his career. Not only beat the clock, but beat it from deep. He's thinking three-pointer all the way, and so they go from a 3-point deficit to a 2-point advantage.
Now stay tuned for the Prudential halftime report after these messages.
The 300 idea is the idea of a powerful, responsive, nimble automotive machine.
That first 300 series took the Grand National Stock Car Championship.
We are a company built on engineering mastery. 300 gives us an all-out engineering car. It has put real fire and spirit into the whole job we do.
44 years later, the soul lives on. The 99 Chrysler 300M, coming late May.
A tough case of athlete's foot can stop you in your tracks. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
You get out what you put in. Powering. Play on.
There's a medical emergency, but no hospital. What do? Build one. Leadership. Learn it now in the Army Reserve. Use it now in your career.
Some athletes don't care about endorsements. Some athletes don't care how many fans they have or what kind of shoes they wear. Some athletes don't even care if they're televised coast to coast. They just want to run.
The Triple Crown takes a lot of heart, but at the ticket booth, they don't take American Express. Visa, proud to be the sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown Challenge.
The Bulls. The Hornets. Friday night, Michael Jordan took control. His team-high 27 points led the way as Chicago captured a 2-1 series edge. But with a home victory today, the Hornets and Glenn Rice can draw even with the champs. The NBA playoffs continue next on NBC. This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential. Bringing strength and stability to America's families through insurance, healthcare, real estate, and financial services.
It's halftime at the Forum with the Lakers leading the Sonics 57-55. The Lakers taking the lead at the buzzer on a Nick Van Exel three-pointer. Shaquille O'Neal leads all scorers with 23 points. Gary Payton has 20 for the Sonics. Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm, as usual, joined by John Sally and Peter Vesey, and our special guest today, the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Mike Fratello. Desar and the rest will check in just a few moments. The first game of the day was a wild one at Madison Square Garden between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. And John Starks delivering an elbow to the head of Reggie Miller. Originally ejected from the game, that was overturned. He was assessed with a flagrant foul. Knicks on the break. Patrick Ewing to Larry Johnson, who lays it in. Knicks led 97-89 with under 5 minutes left. Indiana battled back. Smith with the turnaround to bring Indiana within 3 with under 2 minutes left. Final seconds, Rick Smith misses, but then Chris Mullen gets it to Mark Jackson. He finds Reggie Miller for the open 3, and that ties the score at 102 with 5 seconds left. Knicks one last chance to win it, but Allen Houston's shot hits the rim, and they take it to overtime where the Pacers open up on a 10-0 run, capped by Reggie Miller's shot from downtown. He finished with 38 points. The final, Indiana wins it in overtime, 118-107, to take a 3-1 lead in the series. Here was reaction from both coaches after the game.
We're 3-1 now. Could have very easily been 2-2, but I think they're confident. They know they can score now. They played a horrible game yesterday. I thought they lost their composure. They turned around today and played hard and got the job done.
Give them credit. They got the three-point shot that they needed, and the hardest play to guard in that situation is the broken play. So they did a good job, and we didn't defend it well.
And everyone will continue to lament the Knick assassin, Reggie Miller, and his three-pointer, which took the game into overtime as he just continues the playoff heroics for Indiana, much to the dismay of the New York fans. He absolutely silenced the Garden, Mike. But was the game really won or lost with that play?
No question, the three-pointer shot a big hole in the Knicks' confidence, but the game started to fall apart for New York when they were up 8 points in the fourth quarter. Rick Smith with 4 baskets, Antonio Davis 2 free throws, and 2 huge defensive plays by Davis, shot blocks, which in turn give him possessions and give him a chance to score. That's what turned it around.
Well, Mike mentioned Rick Smith, who had a huge fourth quarter, 14 points. You killed this guy at halftime. You said he had no excuse for not playing well.
And he had no excuse. That shows that the Pacer team was a better team. They sat around and let him get his head together on the bench. In the fourth quarter, he came in, had 14 points. And Patrick Ewing played great, but he only had 3 quarters left in those legs.
Think he ran out of gas at the end?
He ran out of a lot in that game.
He came up empty. I mean, everybody else was talking about his offense coming into this series, whether that right wrist would be working. But I was talking about defense, and that's what they needed coming down the stretch. Ewing, of course, 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter in overtime, but Smits just abused him, used him and abused him, and that was the game. The irony, another irony is that I'm sure a few people in New York will mention that Allen Houston and Reggie Miller, the Knicks, could have had either one when they both were free agents 2 years ago. And look who made the last shot in regulation and who missed the last shot in regulation.
In fact, Allen Houston with only 1 point after halftime, and that was big. Game 5 is at Market Square Arena on Wednesday night. When we return, we'll hear from the Charlotte Hornets center, Vlade Divac. But first, a message from Prudential and a word from the NBA.
In volatile markets, it really makes sense to own a stock fund that has some income. Prudential Equity Income Fund gives you good participation in the stock market and enough income to cushion volatility as well. We have a process which involves looking for stocks that are inexpensive, but also where there's some sort of change going on, and that could get the stock moving. The Prudential Equity Income Fund has performed very well over the short and long term. It's a good fund for today's market.
I love playing to a full house. Nothing's better than seeing 24,000 excited fans pack this place. But if we fill these seats with every abused child from last year alone, we could fill 40 arenas. The numbers don't lie.
Michael Jordan back in his home state of North Carolina, arriving at the Charlotte Coliseum a short while ago for Game 4 of the Bulls and Hornets. That is the final game of our triple header between Chicago and Charlotte as the Bulls lead the Hornets 2-1. Hornets center Vlade Divac has played well under the boards, averaging over 15 rebounds in the 3 games. Divac is Serbian, and he has suffered greatly during this decade of violence in Yugoslavia. Among his Chicago opponents today, Croatian-born Toni Kukoc. The two played together on the national team, but that must seem like a long time ago. Dan Hicks has the story.
1991, I was back home right when the war started. It was scary. I couldn't believe it's going to happen in my country. See you people, struggling, hate each other, killing each other. it hurts, it really hurts.
Blocked by Divac. And Divac comes down with it. 3-on-2 break. Slammed by Kukoc. The Yugoslavians are celebrating.
You and Tony Kukoc are part of so many great memories with the Yugoslavian national teams. The war kind of tore that relationship apart a little bit. But you and Tony, have you had a chance to rekindle your relationship, especially in this series with the Bulls?
Yeah, I mean, I remember, you know, when we grew up together, we played so many games together and against each other. And, you know, I mean, that's always a natural thing, you know, that when politics came in our lives, it was kind of, we never had the problems, I mean, big problems. Well, of course, you know, we had different views about the situation because it was terrible things.
Unbelievable. The Croatians have walked off the podium. These players played together as a unit. And Croatia turned their backs on Yugoslavia.
Once we worked together and we had a great time, but that's a past for me. We gotta move on.
Somewhere on down the line, it got a scar on our relationship, so it can replace it. But I'm glad it's over, and we still, at least, when we see each other, we say hi and talk about families and all this stuff.
He comes from a country that's been torn apart. So when he keeps saying we just have to be together, I think it really comes from his homeland. He would love to have everybody in his country just be together and have a wonderful Yugoslavia.
What do you thought of when you go back home, when you go back to Yugoslavia in the summertime? What do people think of you? Do they think of you as a hero? Do you get a lot of celebrity attention when you go home?
I see in the eyes of the people that really, I got support there. You know, they are with me. They really follow every move I make here in the United States, and they're really proud of me. So it makes me special, be a role model for my people back home.
You heard Dave Cowan say in the piece that Vlade Divac is always saying, let's stay together. Well, Peter, it's a refrain that they must have heard an awful lot in Charlotte this season with the Hornets.
Hannah, you can't watch this piece without noting the eerie similarity between then and now. I mean, here's Vlade Divac from Yugoslavia, where his countrymen were at war, and now he's with the Hornets, where every day, every practice, every game, the players are feuding either with each other or with Dave Cowens. After game one, Vlade Divac and Glenn Rice got into it. After game three, Mason and Dave Cowens almost had a fight in the locker room. So every day they're going at each other. I just know that the players on the Hornets are glad that Cowens is finally standing up to Mason.
Right, something they actually did want him to stand up to the players, and that's something they had a meeting about, as we discussed last week. Meanwhile, Vlade Divac is a guy that you had to play against a lot in your career. What makes him special as a player?
Well, the problem is he's a small forward, he's a center, he's a big forward, he has great fundamentals. He got the right-hand hook, the left-hand hook, he can shoot a jump shot, he can pass. He really gets you upset when you have to play against a guy like this. But then he's a great guy, and you saw in the film, we saw during the Atlanta series, he's always talking to his teammates, he's hugging them, he's cheering them. He's a really good guy to have around.
John, a guy going into his free agent year, you would expect to see numbers jump. But let's look at some stats that kind of prove out to be interesting. His career numbers as a player in the league, then coming to the regular season, he drops down in these critical categories. Then comes playoff time, all of a sudden the hard push now, the numbers go back up again in field goal percentage, points, and rebounds. And add to that the fact with Geiger missing 4 playoff games, he averaged 28 minutes a game during the regular season, Vlade. Now he's up to 38 minutes a game in the playoff, making a strong move here.
Hornets GM Bob Bass says he's the most unselfish player he's ever been around.
He's a free agent, and so is Geiger, but Divac is the center that they are going to go after, although Divac has expressed interest, probably in returning to Los Angeles, perhaps playing for the Clippers. Tip-off for the Bulls and the Hornets is 5:30 Eastern. The Lakers over the Sonics by 2, and we'll send you back to the Forum for the second half right after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential, bringing strength and stability to America's families through insurance, healthcare, real estate, and financial services.
NBC Thursday, the night of TV history you've been waiting for. The greatest Seinfeld ever, the final Seinfeld. How will it all end? even we don't know, and we work here, then it's the heart-stopping season finale of ER. And stick around for one last goodbye from Jerry on The Tonight Show. It all starts 8, 7 Central, NBC Final Seinfeld Thursday. Don't be the only one to miss it.
Taste of White Castle. Why not turn your lunchroom into a steam room?
Tasty. From the great spans that leap across the rivers to the gentle footpaths of the park, New York is a city of bridges. Still, there never seem to be enough. So American Airlines is building new ones. More than 220 every business day. Across the land and across the sea. To Los Angeles, London, Lima, Peru. Extending from the New York City area's 6 airports to over 250 cities all over the world. A bridge is more than stone and steel. And an airline is more than a fleet of planes. Yet both can take you where you want to go. American Airlines, New York's bridge to the world.
Take a real mob tour of New York tonight at 11.
Halftime at the Forum with the Lakers leading the Sonics by 2, 57-55 after scoring 5 points in the last 6 seconds of the first half, thanks to 2 free throws by Eddie Jones, his steal, and Van Exel's 3. And our Miller Lite halftime stats show that Gary Payton has 20 points on 7 of 9 shooting as the Sonics hit 52% of their shots overall. And for the Lakers, leading point getter Shaquille O'Neal, he was 10 of 13 as the Lakers shot 53.5%. Eddie Jones with 18, including that late flurry that helped the Lakers take that 2-point lead. Ready to start the third quarter? Back to the Forum in just a moment.
Open. Comfortable. With redesigned seats, you won't feel a thing. The new Corolla. And it's your lucky day. Now, many features you'd expect to pay extra for come standard on the new Corolla LE. Value is back.
Wendy's introduces the most delicious combination ever put in a chicken sandwich. Our new honey ham and chicken.
Chicken just doesn't get any better than this.
Come on. What are you waiting for?
You're being signed by your favorite NBA team. You and your friends take a private jet to the All-Star game. You're playing horse with your pal Michael Jordan.
Nice shot.
Now your dreams can actually come true with the Gatorade NBA Dreams game. Just uncap a Gatorade and you could uncap your dreams. And who knows?
All right, try this.
Maybe you'll win that game of horse.
Everyone use blood precautions.
What is it? Get some help now, too.
ER season finale, NBC Thursday, after the final Seinfeld.
Tom Hammond, Steve Jones, Bill Walton, Paul Sunderland, Great Western Forum, Inglewood, California. Game 4 of the Western Conference Semifinal Series. The Sonics and the Lakers, with the Lakers leading 2 games to 1 and holding a 2-point lead as we start the third.
Here comes the trap for Seattle. Problem for the Lakers in that first half, Tom. No balance, no Nick Van Exel, and no defense. That's a tough way to win against this outstanding Seattle team.
I think that the Sonics showed some terrific courage to get back in it, because this game has had to feel that the Sonics are being dominated. Robert Horry gets in it deep, and that's his first field goal of this ball game.
Unfortunately, Gary Payton is playing the game of his life. Vin Baker was hot early, had 10 first-quarter points, did not score in just a couple of minutes of action in the second quarter.
I think Hersey Hawkins has got to look for his shot. When they win against the Lakers, it's because Hersey Hawkins also gets into the dance. He's got to let it fly.
He lets it fly there, and it finds the bottom of the net. Hersey Hawkins with a 3.
It's a beautiful skip pass that time by Detlef Schrempf. The problem when you trap the Lakers is that Horry handles the ball.
Shaq too hard off the glass.
Well, he hadn't got the bank shot down yet.
Yeah,
this will be something to work on.
Well, you need Tim Duncan to come over here and show him how to kiss it off that glass.
Schrempf posting Fox.
Schrempf had a terrific first half, only missed 3, trying to go deep, short with that one.
Ball away was short, but there's Hawkins for the offensive board.
2 possessions, 2 loose balls, both for Seattle.
Baker against Shaq. Didn't risk it. Perkins.
Now you know why they call him Big Smooth. Like no effort at all.
He just sort of glided in there, didn't he? Big Smooth with 3 points. Low box Shaq. Double team, kicks it right back out. Jones. Double clutch and home. Eddie Jones has hit 8 of 11 in the game and has 20 points.
And he was terrific in that first quarter. Cooled off only because he wasn't in a lot of that second quarter. And the Sonics can't allow him to join Shaq in a big second half.
Baker's got it deep, but there's Shaq between he and the basket. Payton spotted for the 3. Fisher.
The Lakers aren't able to run against Seattle right now because Seattle's offense is too good, it's too patient, it's too intelligent.
Eddie Jones, a rare miss today. Payton in a hurry. Here's Hawkins. Bounced off his knee. Jones, as the Sonics get back on defense.
Nobody running with Eddie on the steal.
Fisher for 3. Fisher has 7 points, and the Lakers up 5.
We're looking at an incredibly high-scoring game today, Tom, and I think that favors the Lakers.
Good shooting on both ends of the court, extending to the 3-point arc, as you saw.
Hersey Hawkins still a little tentative, not sure. It didn't look like he wanted that one. Eddie Jones, who plucked him just before the break comes up and gets Derek Fisher a wide-open 3. And those are the guys that the Sonics have got to keep out of the game.
Hawkins has found the range with back-to-back 3-pointers on his last 2 shots. Makes it a 3-point game. Actually, that was only a 2, they say, with a foot on the line. As Shaquille O'Neal pounds it home on the other end.
George Karl telling us that he'll live with that play. As long as they get the Lakers playing half-court basketball, don't let Shaq pick you apart with his great passing.
Trying to post Hersey Hawkins, which is something they rarely do. They like to go with Payton. Hawkins trying to score on his own, gets a foul.
Fisher had flopped, and then while laying flat on his back, reaches up to knock the ball away. But the foul is on Derek Fisher.
Shaquille O'Neal in that low post just clears out Sam Perkins. Then the way he steps back, the little hitch to get into the rhythm of that jump hook. When he comes to a stop, it often draws that foul. There's a flop by Derek Fisher. Hersey Hawkins devastating. Here's a guy growing up in Chicago, was a high school post player before he went on to college basketball at Bradley, and one of the greatest scorers in the history of the collegiate game.
The one thing you don't like about Hersey Hawkins is you got to drag him into the fight. I mean, as good an offensive player he is, there are just too many times when he's drifting and you don't know he's out there. A good start for him, 7 quick points here at the top of the third quarter.
Scored over 3,000 points at Bradley, their all-time leading scorer, and he left as the 4th highest scorer in NCAA history. Jones. Schrempf kept it alive, but Jones grabbed it. Missed again, but there's Ori to put it back. Robert Ori at his best as a relentless offensive rebounder, as you saw there.
Ori is not going to get huge numbers on this team, but he plays such a beautiful floor game in every area. Plus, with Shaq guarding Vin Baker, Ori gets to roam and play that wild defense.
Shaq sends Baker's shot back. Hawkins got the roll, so Hawkins now with 9 in the quarter and 12 for the game, keeping Seattle in it, down 3.
George Karl said that Hawkins and Perkins had to be huge.
Basket will not count.
Sam Perkins.
It's interesting. I was in the locker room with the Lakers today, and a bunch of the guys were pointing out when they were talking about the Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson fiasco from a week or two ago. They said as much punishment as Shaquille takes, this guy never responds in a negative manner out there. Just takes that incredible pounding time and time again.
And gives as much as he takes, I might add. Back in a moment.
The Bulls and Michael, the Hornets and Rice. The NBA playoffs continue next.
This is for Reverend O'Brien, who always told me to give it my best shot. For my grandmother, who showed me what real courage is. And for myself, who found it.
From Camp Malls today. Yeah, we're doing some fly fishing and drinking our favorite beer, Molson Golden, eh? And to lure him in, my brother hasn't had a bat in a month. I got one. I'll help you, eh? Fight him. Hey, he's the keeper. Come up to Canada. Come up to Molson. Molson Gold. I'll clean him, you cook. You want a leg or a wing? Nothing like a day of Molson Golden and fly fishing, eh?
Yeah, I couldn't eat another fly. I'm stuffed.
Miller Genuine Draft presents even more basketball.
The intriguing thing about our matchup this afternoon is you've got size and power versus quickness, and Shaquille O'Neal has been dominating his opponent, Vin Baker, with his power and his size.
Steve, the disparity against Vin Baker, he's got to play with quickness. He's got to play with movement. He's had some good things happen early, nothing late, as Shaquille has just been devastating. The field goal percentage numbers just huge here. Relatively even the rest of the way. But when you go 11 for 15, that's having the hot hand.
In recognition of this look inside the game, Miller Brewing Company will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Vin Baker scored 10 in the first quarter, hasn't scored since. And Shaq, in addition to his 25 points, has 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocked shots.
But I don't think the defense for the Lakers has been near as sharp today as it was in games 2 and 3.
Game 2 was an excellent performance as they held the Sonics to only 68. Robert Ori jams it through, and he has 8 points.
But what has hurt the Sonics in their trapping is they've allowed Corey Blunt, now Robert Ori, to play close to the basket, play throwdown. That's 7 points in the quarter for Robert Ori.
Nice catch by Perkins, but it took him too far under the rim. Saves it to Schrempf. Hawkins for 3. Hawkins continues to hold the hot hand in the third. He has 15 total points, and 12 of those in this quarter. Jones fouled.
Now, you know, the Sonics have to wake everybody else up. They got Hawkins into the game. What happened to Payton? What happened to Schrempf? What happened to Vin Baker? But you get a look at a broken play that turns into another three-point field goal for Hersey Hawkins. He's the only guy right now that's carrying the torch for the Sonics.
Steve, the Laker guards, Laker perimeter guys are not cutting that foul line on those loose balls that are being kicked out on the Laker defensive end.
NBC Tonight begins with an all-new Dateline, then an NBC world premiere movie event, Witness to the Mob, based on the true story of the man who brought down the mob. It all begins immediately after our triple header, except on the West Coast. Baker with a screen for Payton, bounces out, shoots no good. Horry all alone for the rebound. Robert has 5.
Last 5 games, Robert Horry, actually all 7 playoff games for the Lakers, Horry has just been magnificent.
Yeah, the glove was a little bit too much glove. He had part of the arm of Derek Fisher trying to rip up through the bottom of the ball. You'll see the arm come right here underneath, and when you're the glove, you get away with a lot.
But I like what Seattle's doing there at the half court. It's trapping with the big guys, and it's not been hurting them. The Lakers not exploiting Robert Horry up high in that press offense.
Well, again, what hurts them is when they have one of the big guys go to the basket against it, 6 on the shot clock.
Payton with a flop, no call. Fox for 3. Rebounded by Jones, and he brings it back out.
I love it when teams do this. You get an offensive rebound, you don't have to clear stick back, bring it out, make them play a full 24 seconds of defense again.
Shaq, 3 around him, and 1.
Detlef Schrempf is hot because O'Neal just overpowered him. He thought he got a charge, but he was too deep to get this call.
The Sonics just saying in the locker room before the game how this guy is just too overpowering. Detlef just standing there, defending himself, putting his arms up in front of his face. George Karl, a technical foul.
George Karl getting all over Ed F. Rush, has been teed up.
In every one of these ball games, though, these are precious points. Karl can't afford to give away anything. This has been the kind of game where a technical could make the difference between winning and losing, unless you got Shaq shooting it.
Eddie Jones sinks the technical.
George Karl, he loves his team. He loves coaching this squad. He wants to be there forever. He knows how desperately they need to win this ball game today. He will be the first guy defending all of his players.
And you look at the numbers of O'Neal, he has been consistent in short range. He gets the three-point play.
It's a 4-point play on that possession for the Lakers, thanks to the technical foul. I'm surprised Shaq didn't shoot the technical. He's 4 for 5 at the line.
Every time the Sonics have gotten closer, gotten the lead, they've done something to take themselves out of it. Schrempf, angry, comes right back with 2 of his own.
Took it right to Shaq.
Well, in the matchup when Shaq has to guard Detlef Schrempf, there's no way Shaq can come close to guarding him. Terrible pass.
Horry fell down, but Fox is able to retrieve it in backcourt after it was touched by the Sonics. As
the clock is under 10.
3 to shoot. Jones does. And rebounded by Hawkins.
Terrific box out by Sam Perkins that time.
Hawkins, he's looking for a shot now. He thought that one was good, but, I mean, that's the attitude that he's got to have and the rest of the Sonics got to have, because they're going to have to win it with some big field goals this afternoon.
Nick Van Exel on the court for the Lakers.
Tom, the best regular season game I saw in the entire NBA this year was the night on a Friday night this year when Seattle came in and won in overtime in this building. Gary Payton was huge. They're going to have that kind of performance again.
Sonics beat the Lakers 3 times in the regular season. Jones, wide open 3. And the Sonics will call a timeout. Things heating up at the Forum. And the Lakers 77-71, the NBA on NBC.
Hey, Figaro! Figaro here, Figaro there, Figaro up, Figaro down, Figaro!
Vigoro Lawn Fertilizer gives you more predictable, continuous feeding, whether it's hot, cold, wet, or dry. Vigoro. People everywhere are singing its praises.
Figaro!
Only at the Home Depot.
There's no doubt about it. Americans like to win. We strive to be first. Always. And in everything. So it only makes sense that more of us want to drive the best. Toyota Camry, America's #1 selling car. And to celebrate now, you can get 4.8% APR financing for 48 months.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Miller Lite, who reminds you that whenever you feel good, it's Miller time. By Toyota. Every day belongs to you. Make it count. Toyota every day. And by the U.S. Army. Be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be.
The Laker girls and the Laker guy. Crowd all jacked up as O'Neal, the assist maker.
Shaquille O'Neal is getting away with jumping in the air to throw out of that double and triple team. You see a second look at it. The great screen by Robert Horry away from the ball. It's those type of little things by Robert Horry that free up his teammates and endear him to this Lakers organization.
Let's go to Paul Sunderland.
Well, Bill, just as you were mentioning, and Tom, about the last possession by Shaquille O'Neal, it's exactly what George Karl said. I can't repeat exactly what he said, but in effect, he said they are not doing a great job of getting out of the double. George Karl wants the double team to come much quicker. At the other end, Del Harris just pointed up at the Forum scoreboard that showed that Seattle was winning this game on the boards. He said that's got to change. Back to you guys.
All right. They're only winning by 1. So, I mean, you know, and you got a 6-point lead, you can't be too unhappy. And I'm sure what he's trying to tell his team is stay aggressive.
But once again, they have no answer for Shaquille O'Neal now with 30 points.
Tom, we often talk in the NBA about the teams that have the safety net. The big guy, Jordan, Karl Malone, Shaquille O'Neal. We saw David Robinson yesterday. When things aren't going well, just give it to him.
Clutch shot by Jerome Kersey from the baseline. 3 points for him, and it's a 6-point Laker lead after that 8-point margin represented the biggest of the game.
What would help the Sonics defense is to try to get to the point of attack. The guy that's got the ball earlier, they're working against the clock most of the time, but when the ball comes free, they're getting pretty good opportunities, and Kersey hustles his way back to that shot. Should have gotten that rebound.
Robert Horry, though, Steve, just everywhere. Van Exel will force up a tough shot. Shot clock against him, of course, and then Horry just right there in the right place at the right time.
Horry misses the first free throw, and don't forget our playoff tripleheader concludes with Michael Jordan and the Bulls against Glenn Rice and the Hornets, with the Bulls, after losing at home, coming back to take Game 3 and Game 4, coming up with the Bulls leading 2-1.
Now the Sonics don't get hurt by that one as Robert Horry misses both of the free throws, and they trap Gary Payton. He takes a look. Now Hawkins comes out of the ball game, and he was their big hitter in the quarter, so now they got to come back. They got to energize someone at the offensive end. Eddie Jones picked up a foul, but you got to look for Payton, who hasn't scored in the quarter, or Detlef Schrempf, who just has 2 points to get into this game in the final 3 of the quarter.
And Steve, Sam Perkins has really given him nothing today. A couple of plays, but not what the Sonics need from Big Sam.
They're looking for Vin Baker on this cross.
Well, they're using that cross screen to take Shaq off of Vin Baker.
And he's checked by Corey Blunt at the moment, and Baker scores over Blunt, his first basket since the first quarter.
Vin Baker was huge in Game 1. Game 2 and 3, a non-factor because the Lakers switched Shaq onto him. Now George Karl utilizing those cross screens to get Shaq off of Vin Baker.
Baker trying to defend Shaq, reached in to knock it away. Van Exel fakes, fires, good. Wow.
Nick Van Exel's got 2 buckets today. He had the one to end the half and now the one there. Nothing else has really gone right for Nick.
But those are Van Exel specials. The tougher the shot, against the clock, those are the ones he's going to make. They strip Baker the ball.
Eddie Jones did the honors and brings it into front court.
That's the kind of defense that will generate fast breaks.
Lob, Shaq from Van Exel. Second timeout, Seattle.
Tom, there is no way that the Sonics can live with this tough shot here. Tries to draw the foul. Sonic defender does a good job. But when you have Detlef Schrempf trying to guard Shaquille O'Neal in the low post, that is just never going to work for Seattle.
It's not going to work if you're not going to get all over Nick Van Exel. He has a chance to aim this right to the rim. I mean, Jerome Kersey is just standing there, arms down. If you're going to be in a situation where you're rotating small on big like O'Neal, you got to be all over the point of attack.
You could tackle Nick Van Exel. Detlef Schrempf cannot guard Shaquille O'Neal. I promise you, Steve.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that.
In any situation. You describe.
But guess what? If they can't get him the ball, you don't get this great reaction from Shaquille O'Neal. Nice and relaxed and all day long.
I think he said, Detlef Schrempf cannot guard me any place in any way.
8-point game. Every time the Sonics have made a little run, got it back down, the Lakers have had an answer. 8 on the shot clock. Kersey.
Take it out of here. Shaq's 5th block.
Shot clock.
Payton with a deep 3. Gary Payton clutch. 3-point shot. His 15th point. Excuse me, 23rd point and his first basket in the second half.
Tom, that's why as a shot blocker, you just tap that ball. You tap it to one of your players instead of volleyball spike it out.
It looks spectacular when you knock it out with force, but it'd be better if you got possession for your team.
George Karl wanted a goaltend on this play.
Well, if you slap it far enough out, the guy shouldn't be stepping in and hoisting it in, but against the clock, and that's the second shot from deep that he's taken today, but he's only missed one of them, so he's had a great 3-point shooting afternoon.
Lakers have height advantage at every single position out here.
Shaq forced out of the floor that time by Baker. But then he fouls him trying to get the ball away. Looked like he had the steal for a moment.
This is a sneak pass. Robert Horry was trying to fool the defense, and he caught Vin Baker by surprise. Also surprised O'Neal, but O'Neal goes to the line.
And they say now the foul's on Kersey.
Steve, this is the same problem we've seen with so many guys trying to guard Shaq. Vin Baker as the Utah Jazz when we had him at the end of the regular season. Just not using his hips, not using his shoulders and his elbows enough. He's trying to push upstairs with Shaq, and that'll never get it done.
You can use your hips, Tom, and mine, and they still won't be enough against Shaquille O'Neal.
Wait a minute, your hips are pretty darn big, Steve.
Shaq has hit 5 of 7 free throws today, and are the rest of the Lakers paying attention? They've only hit 6 of 12.
10 in the quarter for O'Neal, 33 in the game, so his numbers are staying just about the same against him.
Shaq had 44 against the Sonics in the regular season. Look at that runner. Another impossible shot by Gary Payton. Van Exel trying to get away from Anthony. Here's the entry pass to Shaq, the quick double team.
Greg Anthony just playing a marvelous floor game like Robert Horry is.
Horry for 3. Robert Horry. 3-point shot, his 11th point of the game, and Kersey was right in his face.
George Karl's calling for a quick 3 here to take advantage of the shot clock.
Yeah, the Lakers had a foul to give, and they give one here. So the clock will stop, and they'll get it back on the other way. But Gary Payton suddenly steps up, and in the last 2 plays, has made a big difference in keeping his team close. That one, top of the floor.
That's that defense we're talking about for Shaq, though, as Payton pulls the trigger again.
Missed that one. O'Neal rebounds.
Too easy.
Shaq cannot let Gary Payton turn that corner and just come to the hoop. Gary Payton, he can throw that ball as high as he wants.
It is a differential between game and shot. Van Exel working for the final shot for the Lakers.
Jones for three.
Gary Payton played it perfect. Eddie Jones just too hot today, and another turnover.
Van Exel lets it fly as the quarter comes to a close. I'm surprised that didn't go in the way they've been shooting. Shaq has been unstoppable. The supporting cast has been great, and they have their biggest lead. The Lakers up 10 on the Seattle Sonics. Shaquille with 33. Back after these messages and a word from your local station, the NBA on NBC.
We're going down the straightaway. Who's going to lift first?
I mean, I'm just not one to give up.
There's a macabre side to this. Who's going to lift first?
Every time you hit, you just pray that you're going to stay conscious. You're working your feet, you're working your hands, your arms.
My heroes have been the race drivers.
Your head, you're pulling a lot of G's.
You dig down and find a way to do it.
Hi, I'm George Morrison, reminding you to give all you can. And score one for the kids. And score one for the kids. For the kids. And score one for the kids.
Not going anywhere for a while.
What is the line?
And score one for the kids.
Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
No! Hey, don't look at me.
Hungry? Why wait?
This is where I go after school. There's always someone here to give advice and encouragement, and you never know who's going to show up.
I know you're worried about that math test. Well, study hard and do your best, okay?
Whether shooting pool or helping with problems, having someone there for us really makes a difference.
Everyone wins when you volunteer. Team up to improve your community.
Join us for America's most watched news magazine.
Dateline tonight.
Buongiorno e benvenuto.
Transworld One is our chance to make a really good impression.
A passenger's first thought when they step on board is, wow, all this space just for me.
The food is fabulous.
It's a lovely service. You really have to experience it. Oh, the seat, it's so comfortable. It embraces you.
We think it's a luxury service at a business class fare.
All this and there's more to come. Transworld One.
From Transworld Airlines.
We want to be your airline. Au revoir et bon voyage.
There's no doubt about it. Americans like to win. We strive to be first, always, and in everything. So it only makes sense that more of us want to drive the best. Toyota Camry, America's #1 selling car.
Al Roker's Seinfeld Time Machine, Monday, live at 5.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Magic enjoying this one as the Lakers, who scored 119 points in Game 3, have 90 through 3 periods in Game 4. Tom Hammond, Steve Jones, Bill Walton, Paul Sunderland ready for the fourth quarter. The Lakers and the Sonics.
Magic was just beaming before the game about the way this Laker team is playing. Oh, Dale Ellis.
That's his specialty, the all-time three-point leader. Brings the Sonics within 7.
Well, they just flat out shot the ball. Both teams have shot it well, and if they're going to have a chance, right now there's a chance for the Sonics. But Shaq out of the ball game. Eldon Campbell has not been a factor, and they can really get up and tiger these people out on the perimeter.
Unless Eldon Campbell gets something going right away.
He missed it, but there was Eddie Jones to knock it home.
Shaquille O'Neal is not going to be out of this ball game long.
Eddie Jones ate the same meal that he ate on Friday night. He's got 29. He had 29 points then. He's got 28 now, and a big offensive tap in that time.
Kobe Bryant, unfortunate for him, not a sniff of time here in the second half.
Baker got in there in trouble and ended up turning it over.
Eddie Jones. The Lakers working on all the little things. Corey Blunt keeping it alive, the missed layup, and then Eddie Jones quickly over the top of everybody.
There's supposed to be an offensive foul when you came over somebody's back.
The guy
like
was still on the ground, Steve. He wasn't even going for the rebound. He was waiting to take it out of the net.
Jones to Van Exel. I don't think he even looked at the basket that time as he let the shot go, and somehow Campbell wades in to get it back.
All the Sonics stood around and watched. That ball hit the floor. Someone should have picked it up. They can't afford to let any of those missed opportunities get away. They're down on the scoreboard.
Horry. And a 10-point third quarter. Missed that one, but there's Van Exel for the offensive board. And once again, the Lakers out hustling the Sonics.
There's a piece of ice on the courts there. Someone's going to slip and fall.
Well, he didn't slip on the ice, but Van Exel did fall. But he was pushed by Kersey, so Jerome Kersey whistled for his 4th foul.
This is the type of possession for the Sonics that's just devastating. They've been on defense now for so long. George Karl looking for somebody who will dig out that ball on the defensive end. You see the rebounds just barely in favor of Los Angeles.
Well, they're very small, and you know, you got to look at the other end and say, one, you're not getting stopped, but you got to get some make. Eddie Jones misses that one.
Finally, the Sonics get a rebound.
Eldon Campbell signaling the 3. How about getting an offensive rebound, Eldon?
They've had 3 offensive rebounds already this period. As Anthony drives baseline and picks up the Laker foul. Sonics still have a hill to climb, down 92-83.
Go to the playoffs, NBA.com.
Oh, it's really coming down out there.
Cats and dogs. It hasn't rained this hard since last time I had to paint the garage.
Man can't work in the rain. Pity us.
Is that what you're going to do all day?
Honey, I can't hear you. The rain's too loud.
The weatherman said it was supposed to be nice today.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hey.
Hey.
You know, I'm curious, when you power into a tight corner, does your beamer track G-loads, braking history, and regardless of throttle position, automatically downshift for more control?
I don't think so.
Maybe you should check your manual.
The all-new Seville STS with the North Star system. Racing-inspired shift control, the convenience of an automatic. It's not just new, it's what's next.
Braking history. It's not in there.
The all-new Seville STS. It's what's next.
Come along. Mailman. It's been a long time. Whoa! Mailman! You grew hair.
That's right. Couldn't have done it without my Rogaine.
The new Rogaine Extra Strength for Men. It's concentrated. It gets more to the root to grow 45% more hair than the original.
Nice rebound.
Carl, sign my Rogaine. The new Rogaine. 45% more hair.
It delivers for me.
As the pilot flies through the night sky, the helmsman steers a course that is true. The landing signal officer checks the approach. The weather crew keeps an eye on the storm. The air traffic controller directs every move. The air boss orders a clear deck. The captain gives the final word. And the plane safely lands on board USS Enterprise. In the Navy, no journey is ever made alone. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Cadillac and your Cadillac dealers. And by the U.S. Navy. Navy, let the journey begin.
And the Laker girls, as their team tries to turn the Western Conference on its head. The celebs are here. Denzel's got some game. Tom and Nicole. Magic, of course, in his courtside seat with Diane Cannon. And Jack says this is as good as it gets as his team is close to taking a 3-1 lead in the series. Let's go to Paul Sunderland.
Well, Tom, during the last timeout, George Karl, in spite of putting a very small lineup on the floor, was really on his Sonics about those 4 offensive rebounds at their defensive end. He said, we got to cut that out. And while Gary Payton is on the sidelines, he really wants this small lineup to play up-tempo, get it close, get in a position to let Gary take over when he does return. Back to you guys.
But a lineup, Tom, that features no Gary Payton and no Vin Baker at a critical junction of the season, of your career, that's a big gamble.
What they've got to do is be able to match the firepower right now with the Los Angeles Lakers, who have a 9-point advantage. You've got to be able to score the ball. Forget about the stops, because if you can't score and the other team is scoring on you, you're not going to catch up. 3.
Van Exel. As the shot clock expired, Van Exel inserted the dagger.
The Laker offense just rolling right now. You see the confidence, the way they believe, hey, we're going to score 120, 125 points every game.
Well, they've got a 12-point lead. I don't think George Karl can wait too much longer. He's got the wrong people right now trying to score the ball. Detlef Schrempf has got to take over along with Hersey Hawkins, and they're not the guys that are shooting.
They're the ones back on defense.
Eldon Campbell's done a fine job in relief for Shaq here.
See, it doesn't do any good to have the shot clock working for you, and the other team makes a shot. Van Exel again.
Eddie Jones looked a little gimpy there, but Van Exel has got the radar tuned in. 2 straight trifectas for Nick. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. The Lakers are looking good.
Eldorado. It's the legendary car for people who go their own way.
Babe Ruth is up. He looks sluggish.
Martin, all he's doing is sweating. I'm not sweating, and I'm wearing a turtleneck. You're fired.
Jackson's out to talk to Ruth.
What's wrong, babe?
I was out all night, Reg.
Try this. Lipton Brisk Iced Tea.
Ah, that's brisk, baby.
Give it a ride, babe.
Holy cow, what a shot!
Get a case of that stuff for the postseason.
In dental school, we were never taught anything about estate planning. I had life insurance, and I thought that's all I needed.
Estate taxes can run as high as 55%. And unfortunately, those taxes are generally due in cash.
Prudential introduced me to estate planning. They were experts in their field.
We here at Prudential can work with you and your advisors to put together an estate plan that's right for you.
My Prudential agent helped me in preserving those assets that I worked very hard to build.
Sammy the Bold Gravano was John Gotti's right-hand man.
You've heard a lot about Sammy Gravano. Now comes the real story.
He's gonna take a shot at me!
Witness is first-rate and surprisingly powerful.
You gotta help him.
It's terrific. 4 stars, says the Boston Herald. Witness to the mob. NBC tonight. Parental discretion advised.
As quickly as you can say Nick Van Exel, the Lakers have opened up 15.
Eddie Jones on the defensive end on that last attempted stop here. Watch his feet on the right side of the screen. He just steps right on Eldon Campbell's foot. A second look. The right foot of Eddie Jones. He rolls that ankle, and he limped off to the bench. Paul Sunderland has a report.
Laker trainer checked in with Eddie Jones during the timeout. A very cursory look. It was minor. Eddie Jones not in any sort of problem. Back out on the court. No attention, no ice, no retape, no nothing. Back to you guys. He's fine.
All right, Paul. So's Nick Van Exel after hitting those 2 tough threes. And the Lakers have scored 8 in a row over the last minute 40. They have their biggest lead. And the Sonics turn it over. Things unraveling for the Pacific Division champions.
Well, a huge gamble by George Karl. He wanted to go a couple more possessions. Saw that one spin out of bounds as Payton gets up. But, you know, you're down 15, and you've got to cut this lead very quickly in the next couple of minutes of play before O'Neal comes back out on the floor for the Lakers.
Does Van Exel have anything but threes today, Tom?
Well, we'll ask Paul Evans.
No, steals, Sonics.
And Payton and Baker return.
Finally. When you talk
Jones, 28 points.
When you talk to George Karl about defending the Lakers, he always mentions Nick Van Exel right up there with Shaq. Because the other guys are important, but if you can stop Van Exel, if you can slow down Shaq, you got a great chance to win.
Detlef Schrempf, they needed that. Van Exel, to answer your question, has 3 threes and 1 2-point field goal.
Remember, whenever the Sonics have success, they usually get 4 of their starters in double figures and 1 guy coming off the bench. They have not been able to get anybody off the bench to really stay hot for them, so the starters are going to have to really pick it up.
Good physical defensive stop that time for Seattle.
Van Exel over-penetrating, and Seattle took it away. Their Lakers' first turnover of the second half.
Mismatch here. Schrempf against Van Exel.
Of the half?
Of the half. With 6:49 left in the third. Or fourth, excuse me. There is a foul on the Lakers as Shaq returns.
Shaquille O'Neal, team leader in just about everything today.
What else is there? Points, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, rebounds, assists, dunks, blocks, and intimidations.
Now, where is he in fouls?
He is not the leader in fouls. He has only 1.
It's your birthday, and you're doing all the work here. Happy birthday, Tom.
Thank you, Bill. As Detlef Schrempf hits the free throw, and to celebrate that birthday, we'll be watching TNT tonight as Utah and San Antonio square off in San Antonio. The Spurs with a decisive victory yesterday, their first win of the series. Jazz still leading 2-1. It's 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight.
Tom, that series, Utah-San Antonio, that's been some of the best basketball played in a long time. Just great back and forth, each team playing really good basketball.
I think it's because they got all the 7-footers in there.
Wait. Are you saying the Jazz played well yesterday?
The Jazz will be back.
Well, I didn't say they wouldn't be back, but yesterday, only 64 points. I don't think we'd say that was too great. Robert Horry powers it through. $13 points for Horry, 12 of them in this half.
But it's like today's game, Tom. It's not like Seattle's playing bad basketball. The Lakers are just playing great.
Anthony missed a wide-open 3. Corey Blunt, the defensive rebound. He has a half dozen.
Well, all of the Lakers' talent, and they're too deep at every position, is showing up this afternoon. And the Sonics, they've got to have a maximum effort at both ends of the floor. Any kind of breakdown. Scoreboard reflects O'Neal and a foul against Baker.
Shaq returns to the line after this baseline spin.
I think Shaquille O'Neal has the best spin moves, either to go for the lob or to go on this drop step in the history of the NBA. Maybe Moses Malone would be right up there on that drop step for the big guys, Steve.
The history?
For the big guys.
You know, you think he dances better than Olajuwon was dancing before his knees went out?
I'm talking about that one spin move right there. That's what I'm talking about. And go for the lob. You see Shaq in this series just been devastating. But even though the offense has been so consistent, his defense has just taken it to the next level. And there you see the ice on the ankle of Eddie Jones.
Well, they got ice and they're putting some more tape on it. But the good thing is he's out of the ball game. But the Sonics got to make baskets. You know, right now, 8 on the shot clock. They got to get some hoops.
Tough shot by Baker as Shaq forced him way into the fall away. And then Fox swipes it from Hawkins.
Corey Blunt, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, the quick hands of those forwards. And the quick jumping ability of those forwards, too.
And now the Lakers are content now to play Shaq ball. They're going to grind it out, drop it into the big fella, make the defense react. 5 on the shot clock.
Fox with 1 to shoot. Got it up there but couldn't hit it. Hawkins, quick pass into front court. Just under the 5-minute mark in this game 4. Payton hosting Van Exel. Help from Fox, but they forgot about Payton, left him open.
Oh, the Lakers would rather have Derek Fisher guarding Gary Payton than Nick Van Exel. They got caught, the Lakers did, in defensive transition.
A 12-point contest, and you got to really be able to pick the Lakers up now and make them play further out on the floor, and knowing that they're going to drop the ball into O'Neal. This is the side he least favors, and he's Blunt wide open.
Great ball movement, but Blunt misses the hook. There will be a loose ball foul as O'Neal. That was sort of a Mutt and Jet picture as O'Neal and Anthony were squared off. And Greg was looking at about mid-chest.
You get a chance to see how the Lakers go inside out and really make the defense react. And even though they don't get the shot from Blunt, they get the defense spread out so O'Neal can get the rebound.
A roar of applause for Nick Van Exel as he goes to the bench. That play all set up, though, because Vin Baker jumped unnecessarily. Offensive foul here on Derek Fisher.
Eddie Jones, after having his ankle retaped, is back into the game.
Well, Fisher's got to be hot because he tried that same fly, and he didn't get it.
Gary Payton's done his job today as he kicks it out to Schrempf.
But how about Shaq's intimidating defense, just shutting down that play?
Schrempf can't hit, but will shoot 2 after being fouled by Eddie Jones. Gary Payton has 27 points and 12 assists, so he's done his job. He just hadn't had enough help.
21 for Detlef Schrempf with a chance to get a couple of more. The guy that's been missing in this, and I guess we can call it 2 because Percy Hawkins woke up in the 3rd. Vin Baker, since that 10-point outburst, has gotten 2 points since that time. They need Vin Baker, and they need Baker in a big way, and he has struggled with the exception of a couple of ball games in his first playoff appearances total.
Joe Crawford, realizing that the Chicago Bulls are playing next, knows that he has to get these substitutes into the game and not going to let that scorekeeper dilly-dally around over there.
That was Bill Walton, ladies and gentlemen. Just under 4 minutes left in the game, and the Lakers lead by 10.
Van Exel is back in, and Anthony is all over him. And this is the kind of defense they needed earlier before the Lakers got this 10-point advantage.
Horry's attempted entry pass deflected out of bounds. Lakers have it with 7 to shoot.
The scrambling defense for the Sonics, forcing this shot clock hurry-up situation for the Lakers.
Everything going right for Eddie Jones today. 30 for Eddie, a career playoff high.
Back-to-back career playoff highs.
You know, that's the unfortunate thing about being down on the scoreboard. And when you keep talking about stops, and the other team has got the torch going, and the Lakers have been shooting over 55%, it's tough to stop a team. Payton with the score.
29 for Gary.
One of the real problems for Seattle is that they haven't had more than one player playing well at the same time. Lakers have had Shaq throughout, Eddie Jones throughout, Van Exel's had his moments.
Horry's had his moments.
But for Seattle, it's always been just one guy at a time. Tough to win that way against this great Laker team.
Baker with a foul. That's 5 on Vin. In his first playoff series, Vin has had a tough time. Eddie Jones, though, has reached his career playoff high. 30. Lakers by 10.
Great. Man, that tune-up.
These AC Delco parts are about the most dependable you can buy. They should really help improve your performance.
Come on, they're all the same. I'll take some out of this bushel basket.
Okay.
AC Delco, no matter what you drive, if you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
Hi, I'm Bob Carney, and we are one-on-one with Kobe Bryant. Kobe? Unbelievable game last night against the Knicks.
We ain't playing Knicks last
Let's take a look at the highlights. Whoa! What a move!
That was a nice move. That wasn't me, though.
How did you get so much air? You got up there and you just had the ball, 360, and woo! You were on fire.
Kobe Bryant in NBA courtside. All the moves, all the action, all the NBA you can jam in a game.
Wow. Let's have a moment of silence for the defense on that one.
Announcing the new Miller Lite Scratch and Sniff Fantasy Sweepstakes. If you can smell it, you can win it.
I think it smells like burnt rubber.
Smell burnt rubber and hang with Rusty Wallace and his pit crew.
Oh, you idiot. It smells like menthol rub.
In that case, you win the grand prize. Tickets for 2 to the All-Star game of your choice.
Hey, what are you looking at?
See special displays for details.
The Bulls, the Hornets, Friday night, Michael Jordan took control. His team-high 27 points led the way as Chicago captured a 2-1 series edge. But with a home victory today, the Hornets and Glenn Rice can draw even with the Cavs. The NBA playoffs continue next on NBC.
2:58 left, and the Lakers on the verge of sending the series back to Seattle with a 3-1 Los Angeles lead. You know, Vin Baker spent the first 4 years of his career in Milwaukee, never made the playoffs. Here he is in his second playoff series, first year in the playoffs. And is all of that just too much for him to handle, the intensity and all that being new? Has that affected his play?
Well, certainly it has affected his play, and the fact that he's been building for this moment. He may have put too much pressure on himself. He's had a real tough time. And then the fact that he's got to deal with O'Neal on a consistent basis does not help.
Steve, the thing that playoff experience shows you is how hard it is to win and how good the players are at this level. I think for Vin Baker, we're talking about a summertime of more skill development. He wanted to pass that ball in the worst way, but everybody just backed off.
I think he's been spending time with Kobe.
A 10-point ball game, and the Sonics, they need to score every trip down, trying to post Payton to make it happen.
Payton got the roll.
I think it's at the point of the game now where Seattle starts fouling Shaq every time and see if he's going to stroke it. He's been beautiful today from the line.
Well, you better start because you can't let him do that.
Yeah, that's what you don't want. If you're going to foul him before he gets a chance to shoot. Now, a potential three-point play. And for Vin Baker, trying to defend Shaq, it has been a nightmare game.
Just giving up too much deep position there. Shaq using that left hand beautifully.
And Baker is fouled out of the game. He began with 10 points in the first quarter, has only 2 since then, and trying to defend Shaquille, fouls out with 2:14 left in the game.
And the trade that worked so well for George Karl all during the regular season has not produced here just into the second round of the playoffs.
Shaq with 37 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 block shots. He's hit 7 of his 10 free throws.
You know, Eddie Jones and Shaq combined for 67 points, and now you're looking for quick bombs. Sam Perkins delivers 1.
2 minutes left in the game. 106-98 Los Angeles.
If you're the Lakers, you're playing possession basketball from this point on. Use as much time, then you're going to drop it inside the Shaq, have somebody cut to the basket, get to the free throw line, penalty situation up.
Perkins defending Shaq, double team from Payton. Eddie Jones.
He used the entire shot clock that time, and Corey Blunt gets it back. The Lakers doing a fine job of not giving the ball to Shaq until it was near the end of the shot clock. So a fouling situation really wouldn't hurt Los Angeles.
George Karl doing his imitation of Jerry Sloan in a title contest, yelling at Ed F. Rice, you know, you want to go now.
Corey Blunt missing the first free throw. Payton committed a foul. Blunt has 6 points and 5 boards.
It really looks like what the Sonics need, though, is much more of a physical presence inside. Someone who's willing to get nasty, to get dirty.
Come on, get real. I mean, you are talking about a team that has been small. They have no answer for O'Neal. So who's going to do it?
Somebody better. Running out of time.
No one has yet.
McDonald's is going wild over the opening of Disney's Animal Kingdom, Disney's most adventurous theme park ever, and so will you. The adventure starts with the wild, tangy taste of our McRib sandwich. Juicy, tender, and smothered in sassy barbecue sauce. But hurry, the McRib will be gone before you know it.
Honey, it's for you.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
My grandson's a cute kid, but one tough businessman. Hey, buddy, I must have fixed my car.
Upfront pricing? What do you think this is, mister? That GM Goodwin Service Plus?
What a kid. Got upfront pricing, plus a lifetime guarantee on parts and labor, plus courtesy transportation. GM Goodrich Service Plus. The little guy was right.
The plus means better.
Call for the select GM dealer near you.
I have a lot of fun playing characters that are impulsive and dramatic, because the real me is pretty basic. I'm even a little practical. Like a while back, I noticed I had some flakes. So naturally, I started using Head & Shoulders. Of course, it helps keep the flakes away. And if it leaves my hair looking like this, why mess with a good thing?
Head & Shoulders changes dandruff problems
Into beautiful hair.
Dateline Sunday. What does it take to bust the mob's grip on legitimate business?
There's an enormous fear factor going on.
Now, the inside story of one lawman's fight to clean up a dirty business.
Trucks might be burned, their drivers might be beaten up.
Find out what our hidden camera saw.
There's a lot of courage in this story.
Dateline NBC tonight.
Back in Los Angeles, Shaquille O'Neal, 37 points. 7 times he's been fouled, but the hack-a-Shaq defense doesn't work if he hits the free throws, but they've employed it on times today.
The best players get hit the most. It's the durability of Shaquille O'Neal, of Michael Jordan, of Karl Malone is even more remarkable because they're always getting hammered. I guess Shaquille O'Neal just never got to the point where he couldn't take it anymore, Tom.
Even with 1.4 seconds left. 13 of 24. Shaquille has hit 7 of 10.
And he's had a big afternoon, but part of the problem is they've let him get too deep, and when they fouled him, he's been able to complete the play, a turnover against the Sonics.
No, they're going to call the ball off the bottom of the board, Steve. When the pass was tipped defensively and hit the bottom of the board, now they're going to give it, and the Sonics were up against the shot clock again.
Well, you know, they can't take a lot of time to score. They're behind. Payton.
He collides with Van Exel, no whistle, Laker ball.
Corey Blunt has been magnificent today. He's just been on every single loose ball. He's played the great defense. He's ran the floor.
Perkins with the hack-a-Shaq. 58.7 seconds left. And the Lakers on the verge of taking a 3-1 series lead. Two teams finished the regular season with identical 61 and 21 records, though Seattle won the tiebreaker, as you see the foul, by result of winning 3 of 4 from the Lakers in the regular season. Coming up next, Game 3 of our playoff triple-header. Michael Jordan and the Bulls against Glenn Rice and the Hornets. Bulls leading the series 2-1. Bulls and the Hornets in the nightcap. Coming up next. And Shaquille continues to pound in the free throws.
Shaquille so well aware that the only way he's ever going to not get fouled is if he continually knocks down those free throws.
Well, the Lakers have done everything right today. Shaq has been dominant, as he has been throughout the playoffs. And the Lakers have a 108-98 lead with under a minute left.
From the headlines, the paparazzi chasing celebrities.
Kennedy, Trump, Madonna.
Stalking a woman to her death.
Hunted Maggie Abbott down.
The reporter is murdered, and the trial becomes more shocking than the tabloids.
Shot Philip Marco. Shut him up.
All new Law & Order, NBC Wednesday.
It's 108-98 with 58.7 seconds remaining, and coming up next, the Chicago Bulls take on the Charlotte Hornets at the Hive in Charlotte. Glenn Rice, Vlade Divac and company need a win to even up their Eastern Conference semifinal. But Chicago will have something to say about that. Michael and the Bulls look to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. That's the Bulls and the Hornets in the nightcap. Next, here on NBC. And we'll move back to Seattle in this series on Tuesday night on TNT, with the Lakers leading 3-1, if barring a drastic change in the final 58 seconds. And then if a Thursday game is needed, it would be back here at the Forum on TNT. Should it go 7, we'll be back to Seattle for the clincher.
You saw Shaq doing that little loose dance that he did a year ago. That same dance cost him a little bit of an injury, so he must really be feeling frisky this afternoon. You know, he had that abdominal problem. Well, they got it all fixed today.
Shaq will go to the bench for the final 58 seconds, and the Lakers have had an almost error-free second half. Incredibly, only 2 turnovers in this second half. Payton can't hit the reverse. Hawkins pitches it out, and Perkins will try to get a 3. Couldn't get it up.
Now, they just need scores. They get a foul, so that's going to get Detlef Schrempf to the free throw line as the penalty situation goes up. But when you're under the gun, 46 seconds to go, down 10, the other team has to go to sleep. Del Harris is not going to let that happen. He's had so much heat on him this year. No way anybody taking a sleeping pill now.
But Steve, don't you think that with 10-point lead and a minute to go, you have to leave your main guys in there? You take Shaq out. 10 points in 1 minute is not unheard of. And this is a game that basically both teams have to win.
Well, I think Del Harris feels he's won it. That's why those guys are out there.
I don't think this game is over. They can't make free throws.
The other team can't score.
Perkins, after the Schrempf missed tap. And Schrempf with a baseline jam. Gary Payton not out there. It's Greg Anthony who fouls Eddie Jones.
You got to have the clock stop. The other team's got to miss their free throws. You got to come back and you got to score. There aren't enough mistakes. Didn't you hear Tom say a mistake-free second half?
So you take your best player out and risk everything with just a 10-point lead and only a minute to go?
Why is Gary Payton out?
Maybe he couldn't take it anymore.
Why is Gary Payton out?
I'm not sure of that either. I think this game is far from being over.
This game is over.
32 for Eddie Jones. He and Shaq have had tremendous games. 32 Jones, 39 Shaq.
Horry with the great defense once again. The presence of mind to just throw it off the leg of Jerome Kersey.
I think that this is the most frustrating position to be in if you're the Sonics. You know, you played a heck of a ball game. It hasn't been enough. You're trying to do something to make it happen at the end of the ball game, come up with some sort of heroic effort. 15 on the shot clock, 19 in the game.
And the cheers begin at the Forum as Campbell puts an exclamation point onto a Lakers win. That'll put them up 3-1 in the series with Seattle.
A lot of soul searching on that plane going home to Seattle tonight for the Sonics.
That's it. The Lakers win it by 12, 112-100 behind Shaquille O'Neal's 39 points. Eddie Jones had 32 points, Horry 13, Van Exel 13. While Gary Payton led the Sonics with 31 plus 12 assists, Detlef Schrempf had 25. Impressive win for the Lakers. Let's go to Paul Sunderland.
Tom, thank you very much. Unstoppable Shaquille O'Neal today with 39. How is this Laker team in the playoffs against Seattle taking it to an entirely different level, apparently?
Well, you know, we always play, Seattle, pretty close, unless we didn't play smart. You know, I've been saying all year, all playoffs, if we play smart, we can play with anybody. My guys have been coming out, they've been playing great. Eddie's been playing great. Kobe Bryant has been playing fabulous. You know, I think they, finally realized that it's going to take a team effort, for us to reach our goal.
This is a team that changes defenses an awful lot and has thrown several adjustments at you, and you have always had another adjustment in return. You think you've seen the best from Seattle, and what do you anticipate when you go back up there Tuesday?
Well, we just did what we were supposed to do and just, win some home games. Now we, want to try to go up there and just end it. And I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers watching.
Well, one of the big answers that they do not have, or questions I should say they cannot answer, is your offense, but also you seem to have an answer for Vin Baker. You fouled him out today, and you had a huge game.
Well, he's a great player, so, I'm just trying to push him out, just trying to, stay in front of him. When he shoots, I just want to, contest his shot.
All right, Shaq, congratulations. Best of luck next week up in Seattle. Let's go back to the table.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day indeed, as the Lakers are now one win away from advancing to the Western Conference Finals, leading Seattle 3-1. For Bill Walton, Steve Jones, and Paul Sunderland, Tom Hammond saying so long from Los Angeles. Now to our NBA Showtime studio. Let's rejoin Hannah Storr.
A look at the Charlotte Coliseum, site of Game 4 between the Bulls and Hornets. Chicago leads the series 2-1 as Carolina native Michael Jordan and his teammates look to take a stranglehold on that series. Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm back in our New York studio, along with John Sally, Peter Vesey, and our guest du jour, Mike Fratello, coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, look, just saw the Lakers beating the Sonics. They lead the series 3-1. Game 5 is Tuesday night in Seattle. And Los Angeles, at this point, Mike, the most dominant Western Conference team in the playoffs. What's working so well for them?
Well, besides the fact that Shaquille has been so dominant in the play of Eddie Jones and Van Exel, to me, this growing confidence that the team is showing, there is no indecision on ball movement. It touches somebody's hands. If it's a double team, it's out. They swing it. They break them down. They're playing with a tremendous execution level right now.
Sonics have no answer for Shaq, John.
No, the hacker Shaq is not working. He's hitting most of his foul shots. He's scoring at will. He's blocking shots. He's, like he said, giving all his teammates the feeling that they're unstoppable every time they step on court.
Meanwhile, without Kobe Bryant, he was not a factor today, although he played just a few minutes. They've stayed with that big lineup, and it's really worked well against the Sonics.
Well, it's worked well for especially Eddie Jones. It's a totally different mindset for him. He doesn't have to worry about making mistakes. And 30 points. I can just see the rumors now. Kobe Bryant for Mitch Richmond.
Eddie Jones actually 32. And in the early game today, the Indiana Pacers staged a big fourth-quarter comeback. They beat the New York Knicks 118-107 in overtime. Late in the first quarter, John Starks elbowing Reggie Miller. Initially, he was ejected from the game, but officials reconsidered, called Starks for the flagrant. He stayed in. Late in the first half, Chris Childs fires the pass to Allen Houston, who lays it in, and the Knicks led by 1 at the break. Late in the fourth, the Knicks on the run, and Patrick Ewing gets it to Larry Johnson. New York's biggest lead, 8 points, with under 5 minutes left, and the Pacers battle back. Rick Smits hits the turnaround, bringing Indiana within 3 with under 2 minutes left. Smits had 14 in the fourth. Final seconds on the Smits miss. The Pacers get it back, and to who else? Reggie Miller. The three-pointer ties the score at 102. Knicks still had a chance to win it, but Allen Houston's shot hits the rim, and they went to overtime. The Pacers began OT on a 10-0 run, capped by Miller's shot from downtown. He finished with 38 points as Indiana wins it 118-107 to take a 3-1 lead in the series. Game 5 is Wednesday night at Market Square Arena, where the Pacers will have a chance to close it out. One game left here on NBC. Coming up, it's the Bulls and Hornets from Charlotte. We'll send you to the Hive for the tip-off right after these messages from your local station.
Wednesday, it's the big Third Rock camping episode.
We're staying in these woods forever.